Was Harshad Mehta a genius or a scammer? In 1992, the Indian stock market, once blazing with promise, suddenly shattered like fragile glass. The man behind this disaster? Harshad Mehta, a name that would soon become synonymous with India's biggest financial scandal. As chaos descended on Dalal Street and fortunes vanished overnight, one question was on everyone's mind. How did a single stockbroker manage to bring down an entire financial system? Harshad Mehta was a symbol of success, driving luxury cars and living a lavish lifestyle. But behind the glamour was a web of lies and manipulation. As the truth about his fraudulent activities began to surface, the man who once ruled the markets with a smile became the face of India's darkest financial scandal. This is the incredible story of Harshad Mehta. Harshad Mehta's rise wasn't just about hard work. It was a journey into the heart of India's financial world, where ambition and deception walked hand in hand. Born in 1954 in Rajkot, Gujarat, Mehta's early life was ordinary. But inside, he had a burning desire to rise above his humble beginnings. When his family moved to Mumbai, the city of dreams, Mehta was drawn to the world of finance. He didn't start out passionate about finance, but he quickly realized that the stock market wasn't just about numbers, it was about power. Starting as a jobber at the Bombay Stock Exchange, BSE, Mehta soon began to understand how the market worked and how it could be manipulated. By the mid-1980s, Mehta had climbed his way up, founding Grow More Research and Asset Management. This wasn't just another brokerage firm. It was his base for taking over the Indian financial system. People started calling him the Big Bull, a name that represented his growing influence in the market. But behind the title was a man driven by relentless ambition. Mehta's strategy was all about creating illusions. He didn't just buy stocks, he manipulated them. He used his firm to create artificial demand, driving up stock prices and making it seem like the market was booming. The stock market became his playground, and everyone else was unknowingly playing his game. One of Mehta's most famous moves involved the stock of Associated Cement Company, ACC. Mehta drove the stock price from 200 rupees to nearly 9,000 rupees in just a few months. To the public, it looked like a brilliant investment, but it was all part of his carefully planned deception. Mehta wasn't just playing the game, he was rigging it to ensure he always came out on top. As his empire grew, so did his appetite for risk. Mehta started borrowing large sums of money from banks, not only to fund his operations, but to satisfy his hunger for more power. The banks, lured by the promise of quick profits, handed over their money, unaware that they were helping to build a house of cards that would soon come crashing down. Harshad Mehta's empire of deceit was built on his manipulation of the Ready Forward deal, a type of short-term loan used by banks. This financial tool, which was supposed to be straightforward, became the cornerstone of Mehta's fraudulent scheme. By twisting the mechanics of the Ready Forward deal, Mehta was able to siphon vast sums of money from banks without them realizing what was happening. He used this money to buy large quantities of shares, driving up their prices and creating the illusion of a booming market. The banks, blinded by the rising stock prices and their own greed, continued to pour money into Mehta's accounts, unaware that they were funding a massive financial fraud. Central to Mehta's strategy was his ability to exploit weaknesses in the banking system. He found willing collaborators in corrupt bank officials who were eager to share in the profits. These officials allowed Mehta to create fake bank receipts, which he used to secure even more funds. With every transaction, his web of deceit grew more complex and the risks grew higher. Mehta was no longer just a stockbroker. He was controlling the entire financial system. The stock market was his stage, and every rise in share prices was proof of his control. But as Mehta's empire expanded, so did the risks. He had built a financial juggernaut on lies, and any small mistake could bring it all crashing down. The banks, unknowingly complicit in his schemes, were beginning to feel the strain. Yet the illusion of success was so powerful that no one dared to question it, until it was too late. Harshad Mehta's empire of lies and greed was destined to crumble. The first signs of trouble came when journalist Sucheta Dalal started investigating the mysterious surge in the stock market. Her search for the truth led to a shocking discovery. Mehta had been using bank funds to manipulate the market in ways that broke all the rules. On April 23, 1992, the scandal broke wide open. Dalal's article sent shockwaves through the financial world. The illusion of prosperity shattered, and panic took over Dalal Street as the truth spread. Stock prices plummeted, and the big bull, once praised as a market genius, was now exposed as the architect of a financial disaster. The government and regulators scrambled to contain the damage. Mehta was arrested, but the fallout was just beginning. Banks were left holding worthless securities, and the stock market, once a symbol of India's economic power, was in freefall. Mehta's carefully built house of cards collapsed in an instant, revealing him as a fraud. The aftermath of Harshad Mehta's downfall sent shockwaves through India's financial system. His empire had crumbled, leaving banks on the brink of disaster, investors broke, and the entire nation struggling with the betrayal of trust. The stock market, once a beacon of hope, had become a symbol of greed, corruption, and despair. In response, the government introduced strict new rules to prevent such a disaster from happening again. Financial institutions tightened oversight, closed loopholes, and worked to restore confidence in the system. But the damage was done. The ghost of Harshad Mehta haunted every new regulation, a constant reminder of what happens when ambition and greed go unchecked. Mehta became a symbol of a darker time, his name associated with greed and dishonesty. To some, he was a villain who brought India's financial system to its knees. To others, a tragic figure who paid the ultimate price for his dreams. But no matter how people see him, one thing is clear. The shadow of Harshad Mehta's actions will loom over India for years to come. His legacy is not one of success, but of destruction, a warning of what can happen when ambition goes too far. Harshad Mehta's empire collapsed in 1992 when his market manipulation was exposed. Arrested in the midst of the scandal, Mehta faced multiple charges, including criminal conspiracy, cheating, forgery, and bribery. His court battles captivated the nation, with the media following every twist and turn. Once the king of the financial world, Mehta now found himself in court, his confidence replaced by the harsh reality of what lay ahead. Despite his efforts, the courts were unrelenting. Mehta was convicted in several high-profile cases and sentenced to years in prison. His rise and fall were both dramatic and tragic, and his legal battles would drag on for years. Mehta's family, once living in luxury, was thrust into the harsh light of public scrutiny. His wife and children faced intense humiliation as their lives were turned upside down by the scandal. Properties were seized, bank accounts frozen, and the family's reputation was destroyed. In 2001, Harshad Mehta's life ended tragically when he suffered a fatal heart attack in Thane prison, still entangled in legal battles. He died in custody, leaving behind a legacy not of success, but of shattered dreams, ruined lives, and a cautionary tale forever etched into India's financial history. Harshad Mehta's journey from a small-town boy to the king of the stock market, and then to a disgraced convict, serves as a powerful reminder of the dangers of unchecked ambition and greed. The 1992 stock market scam was more than just a financial scandal. It was a wake-up call for an entire nation. It exposed the fragility of the financial system and the devastating impact that one man's deception could have on an entire economy. Even today, the shadow of Harshad Mehta looms large over India's financial world. The reforms and regulations that were put in place after the scandal have undoubtedly strengthened the system, but the fear of another Harshad Mehta lingers. His story is a constant reminder that the pursuit of wealth and power, when taken to extremes, can lead to ruin, not just for the individual, but for countless others as well. As we reflect on the rise and fall of Harshad Mehta, we are left with important questions about the future. How many more Harshad Mehtas are waiting in the wings, ready to exploit the system again? And when they do, will we be prepared to stop them? The legacy of Harshad Mehta is a dark one, but it serves as a critical lesson for all who navigate the complex world of finance. Trust, once broken, is not easily repaired, and the consequences of deception can echo through history for decades to come.